Hey everyone, it's Kirsty. I'm doing another reading vlog. So last week I did a reading vlog of Convenience Store Woman and the Deck of Omens, and today I am picking up The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. You can't see it properly because I've taken the cover off, but yeah. So I'm really excited to try this one. I've been wanting to read this for a very long time, but I just kept getting arcs and blog tours and all that kind of stuff, so it was quite difficult to get to it. But now I have the time, so I'm really excited to start reading it. If you watched my previous reading vlog, thank you very much. I was quite nervous, but the response was quite positive, so yay. Yeah, I'll check in when I've read some of this, but I'm currently watching The King Eternal Monarch on Netflix, which is a Korean drama, which is like parallel worlds where they have a kingdom of Korea. It's quite interesting, but yeah. So did I read last night? No, I did not. I watched the episode of The King Eternal Monarch, which I was watching, and I actually quite enjoyed that episode. The episode before that was kind of boring, and I was just like, not sure where this is going, but I'm back interested again. And then I watched Pompoko, the Studio Ghibli movie, and then I watched a little bit of House of Flying Daggers, which is one of my favourite movies of all time. So yeah, didn't read anything last night. But then this morning when I woke up, I read the first 2 chapters of The Poppy War. I'm really liking the way it's written. It's quite like, there's no fluff around it. It's just, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, this is what I'm doing. And I really like that kind of style. It feels a lot easier to get through sometimes. I know there's some really tough topics later on in the book, and I think that kind of writing style will help. Like, the bluntness will help instead of making it feel, I don't know, I'll see how it goes, but I feel like that kind of style will help. I like that she's not pulling her punches with the way the society is. Like, it's very, like, there's a lot of poor people are begging for money, trying to attack you for money, that kind of thing. And I liked that she wasn't trying to make it seem not like that, if that makes sense. Like, she's showing the bad parts of the world. I've just mowed my lawn, so that took a lot of energy out of me. Pushing that is just, oh, it's a nightmare. I've got so many weeds in my garden, it's making me annoyed. I was going to try and do some housework, but I'm not feeling so good right now, so I'm going to read for a bit, I think. See if I feel any better later, because I do need to tidy in here. It's an absolute disaster zone. And then I'd have better areas to film in that aren't just the same 2 places. Woohoo! So I'm now 4 chapters into the Poppy War, and I'm enjoying it. Got a healthy amount of page markers at the moment. Basically that's been in certain points where I found it very, I felt like it talked about colorism and racism quite well. There's been some really harsh moments in this, as there's like a race called the Searly. Is that the right word? Find it. Spearly. So there's a race called the Spearly, and they were completely like decimated after a war, and they talk about them in a really brutal way because they're different, like they've got a completely different skin tone. So they already talk about Rin in a way that she, like, they bully her because she has a darker skin tone, and these Spearly people are even more, like, I think they're even darker than her, and she, they're really quite harsh about it. They're very like, oh, they were barbarians kind of thing, and it's your very typical rhetoric against like native people and stuff. I really like Rin as a character. She's really spunky and fierce. I think I immediately liked her from the beginning, to be honest, because she has such a desire to excel, and she doesn't let anyone hold her back from that. And she's being bullied in a really harsh, horrible way at the school that she's at now. But she's not she's. I think she's eventually that's gonna get to her, but she's still continuing to go and not show them that their horrible words are getting to her. I really like so far what Kuang has done with the discussions of race and colorism. I'm interested to see how that goes into the rest of the book and what happens from there on. It's Monday. I hate Mondays. I hate that I've become that adult that's like, oh my god, I hate Mondays. But like, it's just so hard on Mondays, I think, when you get into like a mini routine on the weekends, and coming back to that on a Monday is horrible. And then today I've had some stomach cramps and stuff, and like all that kind of nonsense. So I took the afternoon off from my work because I was just feeling absolute garbage. So, and then I went to the supermarket and bought 2 slices of cheesecake, a cake, and 2 bars of chocolate. So I went a bit wild. I can't remember where what last was when I updated. I'm like I'm 160 pages into it basically, and it's really good. That's all I can say, really. It's just so good. I'm really enjoying it. I've like fully fallen into this world, and I can't wait to read more. I was lying in bed earlier and I was just like, oh my god, I need to go to the supermarket. I cannot stop reading this book. How am I going to go to the supermarket when I can't stop reading this book? But I eventually did. But yeah, it's just like, oh, the writing is just so punchy that it's like, it just feels so easy to get through, even though it's really like difficult. Like I've said this so many times, but it's quite like hard topics. But it's just like I like flowery writing at times, but this isn't flowery, and it feels so easy to get through, even though it's like quite long. Just saying the same things over and over again. Me, I love Rin. I've said that already. I love Rin, but I also love what's his name? Katai. I love Katai. He's so funny and cute, and I love him. And I also love Jiang. He's like a great, hilarious teacher figure. I've heard there's some really good character development for Neja, so I'm excited to see where that goes. Yeah, all in all, really good characters so far. I'm excited to see what happens. I also like Rin's just met the guy from Spearly, or the Spearly guy, the guy from Spear, who is a Spearly. That's what it is. Begins with an A. I've forgotten it. I forget everything. But she's just met him, and I think he's going to be integral to the plot at some point, and I'm excited to see where that goes. So yeah, that's my wee kind of update. My television's just changed colours, so my face has just changed colours. I've just been watching a couple episodes of Temperature of Love on Netflix, and then I've been editing as well. Temperature of Love's like this K-drama where a writer and a chef are dating for the second time, because they tried once like 5 years ago and then they met up again, which I was quite interested in this plot because that's what happened to my parents. They dated, and then my mum left and moved somewhere, and then they met up like 5 years later or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So yeah, I was interested in for that reason. But there's just been some really cringy scenes where like the guy's best friend fancies the woman and just tried to like propose to her despite knowing that his best friend was dating her. And I was just like, oh no, I can't watch. Yeah. Oh, I also started the audiobook for Anna Kay by Jenny Lee today, and I am enjoying that. It's very Gossip Girl-esque, but obviously with the whole like Anna Karenina part of it. And it's just like cheating, but that's what Anna Karenina is in a way. It's like passion and cheating and stuff. I can't remember how far I am into it. I'm not super far because I don't think Anna and Vronsky have like started their thing yet, so can't be that far into it. But yeah, the narrative style is quite good, and I like the audiobook because it's narrated by Jenna Ushkowitz, who was Tina in Glee, and she's great. I love her. So yeah, that's my wee update on Monday evening. I feel like I'm talking like at some rate of knots, and I don't know why. I'm never normally this like whoa, 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 whoa. But maybe it's all the sugar I've had. So yeah, I'm going to go to sleep like earlier than normal, hopefully, but probably not. I'll probably still be awake till 1 a.m. But yeah, and I'm going to read more of this. So yeah, see you tomorrow, guys, unless I update tonight, which I don't think I will. Hey everyone, so it's now Wednesday. I did a little bit of reading last night, but not like a huge amount, and it was like after midnight, so I wasn't gonna update you at that time of day. So yeah, where am I at in the book? I've just finished the first part of the book. Still really liking it, still enjoying it. Time moves really fast in this book. I don't know, like, I'm liking that that's the case, because like sometimes I find that like, because this is set in like a school, I find that like authors sometimes take too much time on little things in schools when they could just get to like the good bits, because like we've all been to school apart from people who are homeschooled, and like we know what happens in schools. She's set like the original lessons out, and we see what the original lessons are, and then she's like, well, so I go through my first year or whatever. And like I quite like that that's how she's done it, because it's just like there's obviously nothing major happening, it's just the passing of time. So yeah, now I've done the first part of the book. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in part 2, because some weird magical stuff's just happened. Anyway, so yeah, today I had a really exciting delivery, and that is that I got 2 new pairs of glasses in the mail. I ordered from this like website called Faramoo. They're not sponsoring me, by the way, I'm just talking about them. And they're like super cheap and really good quality for like the kind for what they are. So I've now got 3 pairs of glasses from them. I have another pair from them, but they're all squint and stuff, so I can't really wear them. So yeah, so I got this pair here. So a nice clear, well not clear, pink translucent plastic frame, and these ones have blue light blocking on them, so I can wear them with my laptop and stuff. I really like these. They're really light, so it feels like I'm not really wearing glasses. And then I got these other ones. So I already had this pair, except a slightly different colour, and those were the ones that were all squint. So I got them again. I didn't realise I got a different colour because I wanted to get the same colour. But oh well, they're still fine. So yeah, this is the other pair I got. These are just normal glasses. They don't have any light blocking or anything, as you can see from all the reflections that are happening. So yeah, I've just had to reset my fridge because it was acting strangely, and now it's just not making any noise at all. So I don't know if I've just completely messed up my fridge freezer and now I'm going to have like no food. We shall see what's going on there. I don't know. I had to do this at Christmas time as well because it was just like being weird. I should probably end up getting a new fridge when all this is over, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's lunchtime. I'm about to have some leftover pizza and I'm going to read a little bit as well. So yeah, that's my wee update. So I'm not really much further than I was last time I updated, but it was like some bits that I wanted to like talk about. Oh, my sticky tab's moving. I am 230 pages in basically, and there's just been a really weird airy fairy bit. Well, not airy fairy, but it's like all to do with like magic and disturbances in like the kind of, I was gonna say disturbances in the forest, but that kind of thing, like something's happened to someone, so there's like all the kind of shamans, or like it's all wrong. Anyway, so that happened and I was a bit confused because the way that it was written was like really different to the rest of the novel. I think it's because like it's in a different point of view. It's kind of more omniscient. Is that like the right word? Yeah, anyway, there's now obviously a war because this book is called The Poppy War, and so we're all expecting a war. Anyway, this war has just started and Katai's just been like, well, it's exciting. We've now got job security. It's like, oh my god. It was just so funny. So I thought I had to update. Anyway, back to reading. Okay, first off, don't ask me what's going on with my hair. It's nearly midnight. I don't know. I'm having a shower in the morning. Anyway, some stuff has just happened. And I'm like, oh my god. So like, they're now at war, obviously. And it's just like, it's all kicking off. Some stuff happened that I was expecting to happen, but not because it was like predictable, but because it was like, it was well plotted. So like, I knew that was going to happen. Like, a character has just come back who I knew was going to come back and was going to be related to what was going to happen. And also, we found out some stuff possibly about Rin's history, and like, I was like, I knew it. And it's like such a satisfying feeling because like, I knew it. I was like sitting here going, is this what's going to happen? And I was right. It did happen. I'm really enjoying this. Oh. Anyway, what time is it? I don't know what time it is. I'm on my phone, so I can't even check. So yeah, I'm just over the halfway mark, so I think. So yeah, I know stuff's about to get like serious. And I'm excited to see how serious it gets, apart from, you know, I know there's like a lot of like sexual assault and rape later on, so I'm obviously not excited about that, but I'm excited to see where the plot goes. So yeah, Amazon parcel I just got because I got a refund for something on Amazon, so I thought I'd buy myself a wee book. So these are so hard to tear when I'm doing them one-handed. So okay, what's my address? It is The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. I've seen so many people talking about this, and I was like, I wanted like a book that matched up because I got like a $7.99 refund, so I wanted a book that was a cheaper one so I didn't have to pay more. So yeah, I got this one. I'm really excited to read it. I've heard really good things about it. So it is Thursday. I'm nearly 300 pages into the Poppy War. I'm still really enjoying it, but there's definitely been like a tone shift. So like, I've just like, maybe like 50 pages ago or something, I went from being in part 1 to being in part 2. And you can definitely tell there's like a difference in the parts. And a lot of the time I find like books when they have parts don't actually have that much of a difference, but this one you can definitely tell. Personally, I'm feeling a bit weird today. Like, I feel like that uncomfortable way where I can't really sit still and read properly. So I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done. It's like nearly 10 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I just feel like, oh, uncomfortable. I went to the office today for like 3.5 hours and I feel like completely exhausted now. It's just like, lockdown has just changed life. It's so strange. Like, I feel anxious every time I go into my work. Yeah, I feel anxious every time I go into work. And because I have to go in like once a week just to make sure I get like my filing done and stuff, which like I'm quite glad of, because if I had to go and do like 8 weeks of filing or something like that by the time we go back to work, that would be an absolute nightmare. So yeah, but I just like, I feel so anxious every time I go in, even though there's literally only like 3 people in the office, so it's not like I'm going to catch it from them because I don't even get into contact with them. I'm nearly finished my ebook that I've been reading, which is, what is it? The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa, which I've enjoyed, but I feel like I preferred the first half to the second half, which is very bizarre for me, because normally I much prefer the second half to the first half of a book. But this one I'm just like, I'm bored. I love the cultural aspects of it. Like, I love like the Brazilian background of the main female character, but like, I'm just bored of the romance at this point, which I don't really want to be happening when I'm reading romance, but oh well. So I had a wee clip as well earlier on of me getting a book in the mail that I ordered. I think I'm gonna go to bed and try and read there. Maybe I'll be a bit more comfortable there because I've got my window open in my room permanently at the moment. And I just feel like too hot and too cold at the same time. So I think that's part of my issue. So I'm not doing a face shot right now because the lighting in my bedroom is absolutely awful. But I'm on chapter 18, 369. Oh, what a satisfying page number. The book's getting really like bloodthirsty now. I can feel it ramping up to like the really, really awful stuff. and I know I'm gonna like start crying. Sometimes you need to do that in books, you know? But yeah, I'm going to go, I'm not going to sleep now. I'm gonna try and get through The Worst Best Man so I can start another ebook tomorrow. And then I'm gonna sleep. But I also may read some fan fiction. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Thursday night, I've got like 160 pages to go. So I'm really hoping I can get through this tomorrow. Because it's like really addictive. So like once I start reading it, I can't stop. So I think I can do that tomorrow. However, there is that Netflix movie dropping tomorrow, the one that's like about like a teenage girl who's queer. I'm not sure if she's a lesbian or if she's bi, pan, whatever. But yeah, that's dropping tomorrow, so I'll probably watch that when I get a takeaway, because Friday night's takeaway night. If I don't get it finished tomorrow, I'll get it finished Saturday morning, I think. So like my bed sheets are nice and mustard coloured with some little tigers on them. They're so cute. I got them in Marks and Spencer's. I thought I'd treat myself to some nice bed sheets a few weeks ago. So yeah. I've got some more book mail today. This time it's something I pre-ordered and it came a little late just because I think coronavirus like slowed it, because I think this one's from America. Because I don't think it has a UK release. But this is one I've been like really excited for. Oh, there we go. And I've been wanting to read for ages. And that is Silence of Bones by Junho. It's a historical Korean novel about, I think, a maid. So yeah. Oh, I like that blue. But yeah, I've been really excited about this one because I like to watch Korean saguks every now and again, which is like a historical Korean thing, so I watch them from time to time. So I was interested to read a book that was like that. It's Friday evening, my Chinese food is here an hour earlier than I expected, so I'm gonna watch this and then I'm gonna eat this and I'm also gonna watch the half of it. Is it called that? The half of it? The new Netflix film with a queer female teenager. So yeah, buzzing for that. Then I'm gonna do some editing and then I'm gonna probably watch The King, Eternal Monarch, and then hopefully I'll get my reading done. So I'm about to be on that chapter. The one that I know is awful. It's like the next one. I'm kind of delaying it because I know it's going to be really tough. I know it's like based on the rape of Nanjing, and I've been to Nanjing. I went there 3 years ago with my friend Joanne, because we did like a 10 city tour kind of thing. I think it was more than 10 cities we went to in the end, but it was like 5 weeks of Eastern Asia and a little bit of Southeast Asia. And we did a day trip to Nanjing because Joanne studied there for 3 weeks at one point because she did an exchange. So we went to Nanjing to see like all the places that she'd went to when she studied there. And obviously at this point, like when I went, I knew the history of what happened in Nanjing in 1939. It had been 80 years at that point, nearly 80 years. And the city still feels like it's in mourning. Like there's just this like it's a lovely city, but there's just this vibe. I don't know, it's just it's incredibly hard to describe, but it's like a vibe that the city is still not over it. We went to Nanjing, we were going to go to the like Museum of the Massacre, but we didn't realise it closed at like 5 or 6, so by the time we got there it was closed. So I've still never been to it, but I've seen the outside of it. It's a really nice city though. I went to a park there that was like on an island. I can't remember what I have no idea what it's called or anything, but it was really nice kind of place. Nanjing's a nice city. If you go there you should go. But yeah, it's got a haunted vibe to it. I think it's still haunted by the atrocious things that happened there. Onwards. She's done. She's done, lads. I finished it. I'm exhausted after reading that. Like, I'm emotionally exhausted. I have gagged, I've cried, and that's only book 1. I'm going to go to sleep now. I think I'll have to read a little bit of like a romance novel or something just to like stop me thinking about the things in this book. But I'll do a final kind of sum up tomorrow. So many thoughts, head full. That's how I'm feeling right now. So I finished The Poppy War last night. I'm emotionally exhausted. So I finished this at like 2:30 in the morning because I just couldn't stop reading it. Like, it was so good. Like, I had to take like a half-hour break after chapter 21 because basically like, I wanted to gag and cry. I cried quite a fair amount. Yeah. So I took a wee break after that, and then I just powered through the rest of it because I was like, I was fully obsessed. So finished at 2:30. And then I was awake till 4 because I was just like, I wasn't ready to sleep because I was just like wide awake. My thoughts were just like running a mile a minute after finishing this. If you like fantasy novels and you have not read this yet and you can handle the content in it, so like the content warnings, like all the kind of death, rape, gore, violence, that kind of stuff, if that's not something that triggers you or makes you feel uncomfortable or whatever, you should 100% read this. This is one of the best fantasies I've read in a very long time. I want to read The Dragon Republic like now, but I also want to take a little break between reading this and The Dragon Republic, simply because I don't think I can handle that much like I don't know what it meant, but R.F. Kuang, her writing is just insanely good. Like, it's intense and packs such a punch. There's no kind of romance to her writing. It's just this happens and this happens and this happens, and it's not simple, but it's also not, I don't really know how to describe it. I'm not very good at describing writing styles and stuff, but it's so easy to get through despite what the content is. It feels different in an amazing way. She's just, I'm fairly certain she's younger than me, and I'm just sitting here like, what am I doing with my life? Like, she's just got her postgrad at bloody Oxford or Cambridge or something, and now she's going to go to Yale to do her doctorate, and she's written this book, The Dragon Republic, and then she's written The Burning God whilst doing an undergrad, a postgrad, and now going into a doctorate. What am I doing with my life? That was my reading vlog, reading The Poppy War, which is one of the most emotionally exhausting books I've ever read in my life. And I absolutely 1000% adored it. I think what I'm going to read next is We Are Totally Normal by Rahul Kanakia. Because that's like my next arc. I've got a whole bunch of like contemporary arcs to read that come out in like a succession in a way, so I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to read a fantasy book from my pile. I've got like a pile of fantasy books I want to get to. The rest of my day is going to be editing this. I'm nearly finished editing it because I've been editing it as I went, and then I think I might play some video games. I hope you enjoyed my vlog, my reading vlog. Follow me on Twitter and my blog and stuff, and if you enjoyed, leave a comment, like my video, maybe subscribe. Thank you for watching.